This is our first launch of the HealthGuard product for 2021 with Kinetics Noise Control. This is our release of our Antiseptic acoustic panel system. So let's dive right into it. I appreciate everybody coming in here on a Friday. I see we've got a good mixture of consultants and designers and architects, and even some of our in-house staff is here. So that's great. We're going to jump into. I've got myself. My name is Ben Hickey. I'm with the interiors and home market, I should say room acoustics and home market divisions of Kinetics Noise Control. And I've got Jason Ehrlich, our sales development specialist, with me as well. So he'll be manning the chat. If you have any questions, we're going to kind of reserve those till the very end, but we certainly want to answer all your questions as we intro yet another product for the Kinetics Room Acoustics lineup. So diving right into this, we're kind of looking at a new definition of health and how that has changed across the board. It's not just something that hospitals and doctors' offices have to be concerned about. It's something that we're finding new applications for schools, daycares, waiting rooms for offices and doctors' offices. Restaurants are certainly on that list. Houses of worship, gyms, anywhere where health and cleanliness would be considered important. And nowadays, that is certainly a much broader scope than pre-pandemic era would be. So introducing the HealthGuard line by Kinetics. For those of you who may have worked with Kinetics for many years, you'll know that we launched a similar line going over almost a decade ago. And so this is kind of a revamp of that original. So we're going to start off with two major cores, what we call our HealthGuard and our HealthGuard UI, which is also called our Ultra Impact. So that's going to be one that's resistant to certainly high impacts like kids throwing objects in daycares, for instance. As we look at both of these, the HealthGuard product has a PET or polyethylene terephthalate. I think I said that right. PET core, which involves it's free of VOCs, no formaldehyde. It's a heat bonded panel, and that is a fabric wrapped system. It's made of basically recycled material, like similar to your water bottle or your 2-liter. The HealthGuard UI is a bit different of a core, although on the outside, it's same fabric wrappings are going to be. It'll look identical. They could sit side by side with each other. The Ultra Impact is certainly an even higher impact rating than our high impact hard side. So this is a much denser face, but it is using a fiberglass core. We're going with that high impact for the hallways and the waiting rooms. You know, there's a big difference between a surgical room in a hospital and, say, the cafeteria as far as what they're going to require from a product standpoint. And so the HealthGuard product that we're releasing currently would certainly lend itself to, you know, the lobbies, the waiting rooms, the cafeteria areas, the common areas of a hospital or doctor's office, as opposed to a place where potentially the surgeries are happening or something where fiberglass or PET fiber material is not something that they want in the air. So being that one is PET and one is fiberglass, the HealthGuard UI lends itself to the shaped edges, the profiles that are fiberglass offerings from the hard side and other panel lineups currently tout today. So the square edge, the mitered edge, reverse miter, bevel, and radius. PET panels are all going to have a square edge. So the standard HealthGuard is simply that. So this is a brief look. Our web page is currently launched on the Kinetics website with the HealthGuard information that we currently have. You are certainly welcome to request a quote if needed. But we are concentrating on these products utilizing fabrics that offer an antimicrobial as well as a bleach cleanability. And so that's kind of the niche for this. We're we're trying to offer something here that's gonna make people hopefully feel better, both from the sound the acoustics that's gonna affect in the room, as well as the properties of the fabric, which are antimicrobial, as well as, again, bleach cleanable. So these are the 8 fabrics that we're really concentrating on here: Axiom, Beacon, Hatchet, Intermix, Jane, Sprite, Steadfast, and Theory. All 8 of these fabrics are shown on our website, and if you click on one, it's going to take you to the card page for that gives you all of the information and the colors that are available with that particular fabric. We have lots of resources currently available on that website. So currently the data sheet, the warranty, the field mods, and all of the product specific information is easily downloadable from the same page. If you're familiar with the Clean lineup from Kinetics, which was a recent release back in October of last year, the installation for the standard HealthGuard is very similar. And I will say the same thing too with HealthGuard Ultra Impact is the same as our hard side, Versatune, and other fiberglass based panel products. So the pin clips, we're just reintroducing this idea here because this is specific to the PET, along with the liquid nails option for mounting these. Both HealthGuard and HealthGuard UI only come in a 1-inch and a 2-inch core. So currently we're showing kind of the preliminary data. We're getting our formal testing here soon, but this is generally what the chart's going to look like for a 1-inch and 2-inch thick product. So again, the website here is current. You can see it on the right. That's the whole thing. We basically just went through it all. We're really looking at focusing on health with this product. We want to use the term antiseptic, which basically means it's bleach cleanable, and antimicrobial, which are the 2 major properties of the HealthGuard lineup here. And that bleach is a solution. So while we're not going to state outright that antimicrobial treatment that we do to the fabric is specifically combating the coronavirus, certainly any bleach cleanable solution that you're using can help combat that as well. So that is a positive with these particular panels. So I'll thank you. I didn't want to take too much of everybody's time, but I didn't want to burn through it too fast. So Jason's at the helm here, ready to take any questions, comments that you have in the chat.
So far, I think everybody's ready for the weekend. I don't have any questions yet.
I don't blame them one iota. We'll give it a few more moments here, and we'll see if anybody's got any questions. Jason, do you have anything that you want to add to this conversation?
We are actually looking at other abilities to clean these panels with some trademark specific products for hospitals and hydrogen peroxide and things of that nature. So that's coming soon here.
Yeah, absolutely. We did have a question in an earlier internal webinar about the use of Oxicide. If you're familiar with the cleaning solution, it is a peroxide, hydrogen peroxide based cleaner that the hospitals prefer to use over bleach. Currently, the fabrics that we're using are certainly rated for that hydrogen peroxide. So we do believe that the Oxicide should not be a problem in any way, shape, and form based off its chemical makeup. The other question that we've had most frequently is how long does the antimicrobial treatment last? Under normal circumstances, the treatment that they test, they actually run this through wash cycles to find out what its viability here is. And the treatment that we're using on these fabrics are good for up to 25 wash cycles. Generally, when it's a fabric that is not going to be taken down, and it certainly wouldn't be if it's adhered to a panel, it's certainly not going to go through that wash cycle. So we would assume that the antimicrobial treatment would last the life of the panel.
Okay, we do have a couple of questions here. First, Earl's asking about the pin clips and using them in fiberglass board.
So the pin clips are specifically designed for the PET board. HS and peeling clips as well as the Z-Clip systems are certainly still available for the fiberglass, which would be the HealthGuard UI, the Ultra Impact product. Pin clips, generally speaking, are a lot sharper and smaller than the standard impaling clip. And they're really necessary to hold the PET panel in place when it hits the wall. So if you just use liquid nails, you may have to support that panel as it first gets adhered until that adhesion can dry. The pin clip installation is really not meant to be used just by itself. So the pin clip is there to really hold the panel in place while that adhesion cures from either liquid nails or another brand of construction adhesive. Hopefully that answers the question. If you're not familiar with PET, especially if you've used our clean line of products, it's a pretty dense material that does not take to the standard impaling clip. And so we need something a bit sharper in order to actually push into the product itself.
Our good buddy Jeff is going to make us visit the word choice problems we had in our last presentation, and he's asking about how you clean it, spraying and wiping. So we have to talk about wiping versus scrubbing versus blotting.
Wiping versus blotting. We got into a lot of different terminologies here. You know, the one thing that we can state outright. So I wanted to make this very clear. This is not a vinyl. These are true fabrics, and they're acoustically rated fabrics. And so when it comes to stains from, say, liquids, I'm going to keep everybody from being squeamish here, hopefully, and say, you know what, if you spill Coke on it, it's certainly going to react as any other fabric would. You know, when we talk about cleaning it with bleach and a bleach type solution, which would generally be a 10-to-1 bleach solution, that's usually going to be something that gets sprayed in place. These are certainly, I'll call, wipeable to a certain degree, but it's like a fabric. It's like kind of cleaning your sofa. It's better maybe to blot when you have a major stain, as opposed to if you're just kind of knocking the dust off, you can certainly just give it a quick wipe. But it's being that it is a fabric, it certainly doesn't have the wipeability, if you will, of a vinyl face. I think I hopefully covered that appropriately.
Sorry, talked over you.
No, you're all right. You're all right.
Steve's asking about the acoustic performance. I'll tackle this one, comparing the UI poly product versus the fiberglass. I'm sorry, I got it backwards. The UI fiberglass version versus the poly standard version. And, you know, at this point in time in the marketplace, fiberglass does outperform all the poly products out there, which is one reason why we're offering that. In just basic acoustics, and not only if you look at the special cores, the specialty products like our TAD panel and our Versitude panel, we can do things with that fiberglass that just really can't be done with any other products at this point in time, which is why, you know, for at least the foreseeable future, we will always offer some fiberglass products. But yeah, apples for apples, 1 inch for 1 inch, 2 inch for 2 inch. At this point in time, fiberglass does outperform the poly products.
Absolutely. It's a great question too, because I mean, when we talk about the products being different, the reason why we wanted to offer up 2 cores, you know, sometimes the concern, especially with lead programs, is going to be about those red list chemicals like formaldehyde, which is the major binder in most fiberglass based panels, especially with the tack faces too. And this tack face on this 1/8 inch for the fiberglass side of things is much more dense than our standard, say, high impact hard side, which offers, I think, the industry standard 10 to 12 PCF density face. So we are even higher than that. It can certainly take some raucous impacts that way, but I won't sell the PET short. While it is what I'll call a little bit of a squishier panel, it does recover very well from impact. You can hit it very hard and it kind of has that give, but that bounce back that you're looking for in that sense. So we're focusing 2 different cores for really 2 different needs. Thank you. And as always, we look forward to earning your business. Appreciate the time. Have a great weekend.